And I'm proud to be joined this morning by Ken Harker, who's come along from the Central Lancashire Ramblers Club. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Gary.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's a lovely day for walking. You should be out there.
I should indeed, but I'm here instead.
Have you got any walks planned just for yourself this week?
I have indeed, yes. I'm walking with a friend that I met 23 years ago on an holiday, a retired police inspector from Greater Manchester. I shall be walking with him at Rivington.
That will be lovely, but you're not here to tell us about your private walks. You're here to tell us about the association. So good morning and welcome. You're the vice president, aren't you?
I am, yes.
But you're quite high up.
Well, I try to be a little bit inconspicuous, although there'll be a few in the club would probably disagree with that.
So tell me, how long have you been with the group, and how long has the group existed?
The group has existed, I would think, well over 30 years. I've been a member now for approximately 12 years.
And how often does the group get out?
The group, we get out every fortnight. But this year we've knocked a few of the weekends off because of our numbers, unfortunately, have been decreasing over the last 2 years. So we've knocked off Father's Day and Mother's Day.
Well, there are times when people want to be actually at home.
Well, indeed. I know my daughters will be delighted that I'm not walking for once on Father's Day.
Be able to take you out for a meal at last.
I'm hoping.
If they're listening, hint, he would like a meal.
Yes, please.
Right, we'll put some venues down later. But you're out fortnightly. Why has this been dropping off? Is it an age thing? Is it too much else to do in life?
We really can't put our finger on it. The membership that we have is a very aged membership, and I'm being very respectful with that.
Mature membership.
They have been with the club a lot of years, so they have matured with the club. Probably mature, it would be a better word to use.
Yeah, they've got time as well.
Of course they have, yes. Yeah.
So, if you're obviously wanting new members,
yes.
Do you cater for all ages?
We cater for all ages. We have within the club different grades of walks.
Ah, right. Because if I was a fresh starter, I'd think I'm not going up Helvellyn with you on my first trip.
No, indeed not.
So what would you give me as a new starter?
Well, if depending on if we had a chat with you, I mean, obviously you may be
my assessment.
You may be a 30-year-old.
Hey, if you think I'm 30, I'm dead chuffed. Well done, thank you. Go on.
So we would have a chat and determine your capabilities, but we cater for our lowest grade is sea walk, which is between 4 and 6 miles, and a maximum climb of 600 feet.
Right, so you're not killing me with the altitude the distance.
And they do start off, I might add, with a stop at the cafe where they have tea and toast. And it's usually led by a gentleman called Derek Lowe, who our ladies certainly endear themselves to.
Good. So young lady members, Derek is a bit of a magnet.
Of course, he's a bit of a babe magnet.
Derek will be shooting us. Send us an email, Derek, studio@preston.fm. studio@preston.fm. In fact, anybody. So, Ken, you're telling me, so the C starters.
Yes, and then we've a B walk, which I've been leading over the last few years because we're having problems getting people to lead walks. So I've been doing it with a Mr. James Cookson, who does tell everybody he's my son. I'd take a bit of umbrage with that, but I don't. It's all in a bit of fun.
So that's the B walks,
and that's between 6 and 9 miles with a climbing maximum of 1,200 feet.
Are you rushing people through these walks, or do you take the whole day?
Well, I'll come on to that.
Okay.
Over the next 2 walks. But the B walk, Jim and I try to make it so, as the old cliche says, we're able to smell the roses.
Yeah, and time to look around.
And we do try and do a little bit of research of where we are to the history of the villages and, and the surrounding area.
I was just going to ask that. Do you use existing walks? I mean, I would imagine your shelves are full of Wainwright's books, Or do you plan unique walks, which are unique for you?
We do plan the walks. Jim and I, 2 years ago, I think the accumulative mileage was 600 miles, going just not actually doing 600 miles, but the areas that we covered 600 miles to plan the three walks.
Yeah. So what about the A category?
Well, we've got the B plus one now. Yes, we mustn't forget the B plus.
I was always a B plus at school.
Yeah, well, it's not bad though.
No, it was good.
So the boy's done good for a B plus.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So the B plus is a little bit further.
Yes, it's between 9 and 12 miles with a maximum of 2,000 feet. Although they can go a little bit higher. And so then, of course, we've got the creme de la creme, which is the A walk, which is between 12 and 16 miles, although they do a little bit further sometimes, with a climbing of, as is written on the programme, 2,000 plus.
So you could be doing the big peaks in the Lake District.
Yeah, very much so, yes.
Because, is it Scafell Pike, which actually is the biggest? Which one?
Scafell Pike.
There's two summits, isn't there? Very rocky up there. I was surprised at the rocks and a barren landscape once you get over a certain height, isn't it?
Very much so, yes.
So, if I was joining you, I'd obviously start with the C and aim to work through the levels until I could get to the big views. But if you're a Central Lancashire Rambling Club, you don't just have one place where you meet, surely, to set off on these jaunts.
No, we do have a pickup programme, and we start off at Exton Lane outside the hospital.
Yep.
And then we continue to whether I'm allowed to mention Aldi.
Well, they are landmarks. They are landmarks in the local environment. Yeah.
Well, we pick up at Aldi on Towngate in Leyland, and then we proceed from there to Mill Street at Farrington. And then we continue to Croston Road at Lostock Hall.
This is a tour of Preston and South Ribble, isn't it?
Yes. We do the Ram's Head at Longton, the Anchor Inn at Hutton, Bushfield's Shop at Penwortham, the Library at Cop Lane, St Michael's Church at Ashton, Claremont on Blackpool Road, Lane Ends at Ashton, the Withy Trees at Fulwood, and then we finish up at the Black Bull at Fulwood.
Right, landmarks are pubs and shops, aren't they?
Of course they are, yeah.
So anybody who lives in those particular areas listening and fancies walking could walk 2 minutes to the bus, get on the bus, have a nice ride and laugh and giggle.
We'd be delighted to have new members on board. I mean, it is a very, very friendly club.
Do you have social activities sometimes?
Yes, we've got one planned for March, where it's our third trip to Scotland.
Ah, right. Not just a day out.
It's over a number of days, and we're actually going this time to Oban. We have done Dalmally and Tyndrum over the past couple of years. And in fact, the hotel welcome us because we seem to liven everybody up when we go.
So it's a bit of a party when you get there,
of course, yeah. We have fancy dress and Doreen Cookson, who's the wife of our president, she organises an Easter bonnet competition.
Well, this sounds like not just good health and good fitness, but good fun as well.
It's a good social club to belong to. I mean, I, for instance, have been retired a number of years now, and I think that people who retire do lose the contact with the work colleagues and the enjoyment of the banter you have between people.
Yeah.
So that it does bring you within the realms of meeting a lot of different people. And we have, for instance, in our walking club, we've got a magistrate, we've got a musician, Dave Gardner, who's very well known in the Preston area.
So you meet all sorts of new people.
Yes, yeah. We have the spectrum is vast and varied.
So in a moment we need to tell people how they can find out about you, where they can get in touch. But I just have a vision of you in fancy dress. Do you take part in the fancy dress?
I have been known to do an Elvis one. Yes, much to the delight of of all the ladies, because on getting on the coach, I do get greeted with Elvis is in the building.
Really? So I think we'll just play a little tune whilst we have a chat as well, off microphone, because I haven't got an Elvis track lined up, but I've got Andy Williams lined up, because I'm sure that the ladies can't take their eyes off of you. That's a seamless link, isn't it? Back soon with Ken Harker.
On 103.2 FM.
From Leyland to Longridge.
And Wood Plumpton to Walton Le Dale.
It's your community.
Your radio.
Your Preston FM.
So you're listening to Chat City on Monday the 3rd of March, and my name is Gary Cunliffe, and I'm joined by Ken Harker from Central Lancashire Ramblers Club. We were just talking off air about people we know in common. Pat Cocker, somebody I used to work with, is a member of your group.
Yes, yes, she is indeed.
She's seriously fit as a walker, is Pat, isn't she?
She is, yes. She's one of our A walkers.
Now, we were talking about the walks I used to do with Pat as a school group, as teachers. We had somebody turn up in trainers once. Not a good idea for going up Scarfell, is it?
Not indeed, no.
So what about equipment as a new walker?
It is important that you do have the right equipment, and really a good pair of walking shoes is essential with ankle support, and waterproof clothing, because the old saying is there's no such thing as bad weather, just inadequate clothing.
Yes,
and
that's
that is
true.
very, very
that's
true.
True, yeah. So tell me about the cost of joining your society. There must be a membership cost, because you've got to keep going.
Of course. We've kept the costs as low as we can, and the membership is £5 is the joining fee, which is paid annually, and we've kept that over a number of years. And then the coach is £10. And I do think £10 in today's terms represents great value for money.
Well, it's walking with all the hassle taken out, because you trust your leaders who've planned the route, they're providing the transport, you just have to pay the cost.
That's correct.
It's a great way to get out there without all the background hassle, isn't it?
Well, it's a great way of getting fit, burning the calories, meeting people. And what we do is, as well, for new members, is we do allow three trips with us to see whether they in fact want to join the club before we ask them for membership.
Yeah. So you've invited me along. Once I've had my knee sorted this year, you've told me I've got to come. So how do we get in touch with you? There must be a website and contact phone numbers.
We have a website that you can pick up on the internet, which is Central Lancashire Rambling Club.
Right.
That gives you the list of all the everything. It gives you the phone numbers, the booking secretary, the walks programme for the year. Everything is on that site.
So Central Lancashire Rambling Club is Googleable and you'll find it, but I've got the actual address here, which I'll give out later.
Yes.
So we expect Chat City listeners at 12 o'clock to have a look at your website and just see what's going on. Because you could do with some new members, couldn't you?
Of course we could.
And look at the weather outside.
Indeed.
This is the sort of weather we should be walking. So Ken Harker, Central Lancashire Ramblers, thank you very much for joining me this morning. It's been a great pleasure. You've got my blood flowing again for getting out onto the hills.
Thank you, Gary, for inviting me.
It's been a great pleasure. So come on, listeners, get joining, get out and get walking.
We need you. Your country needs you, as the old saying used to go, but it's our club needs you.
Your countryside needs you. Ken, a pleasure. Thank you.